What about you?
Mono red.
Rebel, Rebel.
Rebel, Rebel. I think Rebel is like the most powerful card, and in this set you have Sarkhan, or not Sarkhan,
Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker. It's Sarkhan new form.
Sure. And it's him. You've got Hordeling Outburst, Perforos, the Phoenix. I don't even know the name, but the one that just keeps dying.
Phoenix. Yeah, Ashclaw Phoenix is so good.
Yeah.
We played him in a verse video a few days ago, and it's coming out next week, I think, or maybe whenever. I don't know. Yeah, it was really good. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I would be on mono red. You've still got some good burns. Stoked Flames, Lightning Strike.
Plus, I think actually a White Splash is actually good in that deck too. You get Chained to the Rocks, which is awesome right now. A lot of the good removal left the format, and so now we have to kind of supplement that. And I think that people are going to be playing these giant guys that all cost 3 different colors of mana, so having a 1-mana answer to them is going to be fantastic. So.
Mono Mountains.
Okay, fine. Personally, I would want to play a Tai Dredge deck. I think Sidisi is awesome. Goes really well with Murderous Cut. You still get Satyr Wayfinder, Commune with the Gods to fill your graveyard up. There's a cool few other enablers as well. I'm not sure if they're good enough to make the cut.
I think Necropolis Fiend is awesome.
Necropolis Fiend is insane.
Yeah, it like in a verse video you'll see next week as well. BBD destroyed me with Nyx Weaver and Necropolis Fiend. And it's
a soft lock.
Mill, kill that, mill, kill that, mill, kill that. I was just like, can I concede yet? Like, we're done here.
Yeah.
Abzan.
I don't know, man.
It's like perfect for a junk deck. Like Abzan has all these great like cards right now, like Coursers and Caryatids, and
so is every other green deck. But
that's true. But this charm, I think, fits the bill. It kills bigger creatures, where your Coursers and Caryatids are going to stop the smaller ones.
Yep.
Against like controlling strategies, or when you're behind, you can just draw 2 and lose 2, and you're going to be able to get that back with Coursers, or even like hit well. And then the third one is the least relevant, but having a card that is not a pump spell, but that can act as a pump spell, has always just been awesome. Like Selesnya Charm, for example. We know the power of Charm.
It's incredibly versatile, which I love.
And that's what this card is actually.
All 3 modes are awesome.
Can kill a guy, pump a guy, or draw 2 cards.
Yeah. My favorite personally is Mardu Charm. I think just being able to deal 4 damage to a creature is pretty absurd. But also, if you want to build a token-based strategy, like even with like Goblin Rabble Master or things like that, you get to make 2 tokens off of it. And I think with Courser being such a powerful card in the format, if you see a really good card on top of your opponent's deck, like a Planeswalker like Elspeth, you get to instant speed duress them during their draw step before they actually get to cast their Elspeth or what have you.
What you get to Jeskai it back to the top of their library, and then when they draw it, Mardu Charm.
Charm action.
I think that's the best way to play it.
Yeah, just all the charms.
My pick is Hordeling Outburst.
Wait, why do you always get to go first?
Because I'm special, my mother told me.
Okay. Hordeling Outburst, I don't know. That card seems pretty sweet, but...
the reason that I like this card is that it without knowing the rest of the format, it interacts very favorably with 3 cards in the set.
Sure.
Which is Perforos, Stoke the Flames, and Foundry Street Denizen. Really well with all 3, just making 3 1/1 goblins.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of creatures on the board.
Plus, Golgari Charm goes away, so...
Golgari Charm's gone. And so I really think that another good 3-drop, that it's not better than a Rabble Master, right?
It's not better than Chandra's Phoenix, but it kind of replaces it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes 3 guys, and it's going to be good in a deck that's trying to go bigger.
Sure.
Like, you can play Sarkhan, you can play Phoenix, you can play Perforos. With a Perforos in play, it's 6 damage. And it's 3 cards for Stoke the Flames.
I also love that you can play that along with something like Phoenix, and you don't actually have to block with Phoenix against their like 1-2 power guys that are attacking you, and you can use your goblins as like defensive measure or an aggressive measure. Same with Phoenix. If they attack with a big guy, you block with Phoenix.
And with Stoke the Flame, it is just Birding Tremor.
Yeah, it's great. Personally, I think the most underrated card for me is actually Dead Drop. And
mostly because of the art.
Mostly because if you look at the card, it says it costs 10 mana. But I don't know if you've ever played with Satyr Wayfinder or Commune with the Gods, but you can fill your graveyard up real fast. And so I think this card's on average going to cost about 3 or 4 mana if you have like a reasonable draw, and it's just going to obliterate your opponent when you cast it. It's a one-sided Barter in Blood, and Barter in Blood was only like held back by the fact that you had to sacrifice your own creatures.
And it costs more mana.
Yeah. How do you build a Savage Knuckleblade deck?
You kill him.
I mean, the card builds the deck itself. It's just it's a 3-mana Wick Edition. I don't know. What else do you need? You don't need other cards. You just need lands. So you start with lands that can cast it. You finish off with maybe a little bit of spice, a little bit of burn spell, maybe some Stoke the Flame action. I don't know. I think people who are building it with like Corsair Crewfix are just not really doing it right. Similar to the people who were playing Corsair Crewfix with Gorkline Rampager, Chris Van Meter.
I'm not gonna get into this. We don't have that much time, but I will say that you stay aggressive.
Yes.
You splash one of the colors, right? Like, you don't want to be a straight, like, I don't think you want to be
no hard three
road.
colors. Yeah, you just want to be a 2-color deck that's splashing for like Knuckleblade and maybe one other card. Like, I think green-red might be a really great possibility, and then you get a few of the really sweet counter spells that have been printed. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't really want to do too much in 3 colors when you're trying to play an aggressive deck, and I think Knuckleblade fits perfectly into that style of deck for sure.
Red ones.
I'm going to go with decks with red mana symbols in them.
Because it's going to be good. Unless you're playing like 20 lands, if you have a curve that has the ability to tap 5 mana by turn 5 or 6, the card's going to be absurd. Like,
yeah, and I think he only gets better when you actually get access to Scry lands, right? Like, you want to slow the games down a little bit. And so the Scry lands allow you to keep from getting flooded or to make sure you hit your land drop so you hit Sarkhan on time. And Sarkhan is just such a devastating effect, whether it be killing a guy and then threatening to 4 you every turn, or if your opponent doesn't have anything in target, you just start 4 them every turn. It just fits in these, like, I want to say like Hell Rider style aggro decks, right? Well, but they also fit into big red style control decks.
Yeah, I think that the most important thing with Sarkhan that we're going to learn over the course of the next couple of weeks is it more of a removal spell or a threat, or just a both? And I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to have it complement removal. So don't play it because it's removal, so it's like, oh, these are my removal slots. You complement your removal by having a threat that also can kill things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it goes in a deck with Stoke the Flames.
Yes.
Like, Stoke the Flames can kill your opponent, or it can kill a guy.
You can also play them, animate them, tap them, Stoke the Flames.
Maybe. Anger of the Gods.
Good answer. That's a really good answer. I mean, decks that run a bunch of removal when there's not Sphinx's Revelation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anger of the Gods was really overshadowed, I think, by the fact that, like, the control decks already had Supreme Verdict, so why would you splash this card, right? And there was an obvious blue-white control deck because of Sphinx Revelation and Supreme Verdict, so splashing hard into another color means you don't really want it. Now, we don't really have that, you know. I think that people are going to play things like Treasure Cruise and these other card advantage, you know, type spells that are way less heavy on, you know, specific color combinations. That's going to allow, like, blue-red X control decks to actually exist. And Anger of the Gods is just the best sweeper you have access to because it beats the Rabble Master decks.
I mean, I almost think that card is borderline as good as Supreme Verdict. Now, I understand that decks are built differently because of Supreme Verdict.
100% agree. I thought Anger was absurd, except there's no home for it.
Yeah.
All the, you know, red decks were mid-range decks that had to play Sylvan Caryatid, or they were like, you know, there were black-red decks in the original release, I think, of Theros, but those all just morphed into these black-red, mono-black Devotion decks, and so it just lost its place.
Yeah, I mean, I think that without Rev, the whole format changes, and it allows you to go back to mid-range decks that don't have to put a bunch of proactive permanents on the board, or they just die.
Yeah. Zero.
Negative $1 billion.
I didn't know I could go negatives. Oh, you even said 1 to 10. I don't know. I'm going to go with negative $2 billion.
Yeah, it's good riddance. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the cards were fun while they were here, but
I will lie. I'm not gonna lie. They've
been around a while.
Yeah, I've been seeing pack rats and like Frostburn Weirds and Sphinx's Revelations. Yeah, they're just everywhere. And Mutavault. Well, Thoughtseize is still around, but it's that Mutavault made all these cards better.
Yeah.
And now that Mutavault's gone, Thoughtseize isn't going to have the same impact on the form. It's going to be good, but it's not going to have the same impact.
Maybe.
Revelation's gone. Pack rat, goodbye. I'm so glad about that. And I am just happy that the format is just going to change, and it's not going to be about all of these super powerful cards that forced us all to just have curves 1 through 4.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
we can do some cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think my least favorite card that sort of gained a lot of popularity was Mutavault, simply because it allowed aggressive decks to be able to play like 1 or 2 more lands and just never flood.
Well, it also stifled like new decks, like 3-color decks from actually being good, because you could just get so many more spells.
Yeah. I mean, virtual spell, like Mutavolt's a virtual spell. The card's absurd.
Earlier today, with the Rebel Burn deck, I looked at Todd. I'm like, are you going to miss 6 spell hands, which was just a mountain and 2 Mutavolts and a bunch of spells?
You know, perfect.
And it was just
turn.
insane. Yeah, it was like the best hand ever. I'm just so happy that we get a rotation.
Peace.